Woo, it's a hot day out here. So today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how Bitcoin's price has changed and why. Or the way that Bitcoin moves, the way that Bitcoin price moves has changed and why. And what it means for trading and things to think about for the future of how Bitcoin price might change and what it means for trading. So welcome and fam, much love, Trav here. Now if you go back to the early days of Bitcoin, and yeah, there's no charts in this video, but just follow along, listen along, and kind of imagine in your head. But in Bitcoin's early history, it was brand new, and it had this, it was a lot easier to double and double and double and 10x and 10x and 10x, right? As the network effect started to grow, right? So in these initial stages, the rallies were absolutely crazy, right? Vertical insanity. Of course, there's panics that would happen with Mt. Gox where everybody gets hacked, everybody wants to get out. But I'll come back to that in a moment, but we're not likely to see, Bitcoin's mature now, we're not going to see the same kind of growth in rallies. But we're also not likely to see the same kind of dumps either. Not that price can't go down, but when Bitcoin price goes down, it's going to look a little bit different than it did in the early days. Then we had the introduction of perpetual futures, which brought leverage into the space. And with leverage has come insane liquidations, especially to the downside as the leverage longs come in. And historically, at different points, they get flushed, and you have these massive liquidation candles. And price goes super low and rebounds quickly off that. And that is also, I wouldn't say that one's super new, but that came about from when perpetual futures were introduced. I'm not sure when that happened. It was from BitMEX, right? 2014, something like that. Sometime in those years, 2015. Now, where is Bitcoin now? Well, Bitcoin has matured and has been institutionalized. And there's an ETF. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, if you look at the largest market caps of assets in the world, Bitcoin is $1 trillion plus. It's up there with Google, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, Silver. Those are in the 1 to 5 trillion range for the most part. Amazon, Nvidia. There's not a lot of room for Bitcoin to double and double and double and double. There's room for it to grow. The expectation is for it to grow, but it's already matured and it's large and it's already a whale of an asset, right? It's up there. I mean, say that it flips the biggest stock in the world. Well, it'd be like a 3 or a 4x from here, which is a lot of growth for sure. There's potential for a lot of growth, but for it to really outpace the NASDAQ is a lot less likely than it's been, and we see that as well. Now, the introduction of the ETF is really interesting because now we have more institutional access, and we have retirees, and we have more, not traders, but investors who have access to just trickle and slowly buy it up over time. So what that means is it adds either an upward drift to the price, or it also, I wouldn't say it limits the downside, but it makes it harder for price to have these massive liquidations or to go down and to stay low, because people are conditioned in the ETF crowd to just basically hold. They don't have to get shaken out. Now, what's really important to understand about institutions and the way institutions trade is they oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes the larger institutions trade with such large size that there's issues with liquidity for getting in and out of positions. So they will do it by limit orders. Sometimes they do it by market orders, swapping, but they'll do it at various times, or they're doing it at various prices, which means that price is a little bit more choppy on the moves up and the moves down, right? It's more efficient. Price is more efficient. We don't see as many massive daily gaps, weekly gaps, it's more clean of a ladder, stairs up, right? 2 steps up, 1 step down, 2 steps up, 1 step down, or the downtrends, 2 steps down, 1 step up, 2 steps down. Because if they're an institution's wanting to build a position, they're going to scale in, they're going to trail the market with limit orders. If they want to get out, they're going to trail the market with limit orders. If price gets up to a certain point, they sell. If it goes higher, they sell more. If it goes lower. So that's the footprint that we have. And it means Bitcoin should trade less like a commodity and more like a stock now. So the way commodities, not always, but typically trade is they're more likely to trend, have really strong trends. Not that stocks can't as well, but stocks, and now Bitcoin, I believe, is trading more like a stock than a commodity. It's more likely to chop in an upward direction or chop in a downward direction than it is to go absolutely vertical or just straight red day, red day, red day, red day. So what did that mean for trading? Well, there's a lot of things that it can mean, but I'm not going to say trend following systems are not a good bet, but they're probably won't be as good as they've been, especially long to the upside trend following systems. And systems that are a little bit heavier on limit orders are probably have an advantage. And then also just paying attention to, there's a lot of things you can do here, paying attention to different sorts of order flow, just understanding maybe quicker profits rather than just holding one position might make sense. But yeah, I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot go up anymore or go to the moon, and I think it will continue to outperform alts over the long term, but price action has changed, and if you know that, you can take advantage of it, you can trade it. So I hope you find that helpful and useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've been trading Bitcoin a long time or you've been watching Bitcoin price a long time, let me know if you think or agree. I mean, I think we can all agree that it moves a lot slower than it used to, which makes sense, right? I remember when it was $100 and it went from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to almost 20,000. And then it took some time to get from 20,000 to 60. And then here we are years later and it still hasn't really broken through that. So times have changed and we always got to get with the program. And I'm getting with the program. How about you? All right, welcome in to my place. I'm back, but I'm out of here. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Peace.